I was recently asked to provide some insight into the word commit from the following passage and interpret it from a Hebraic perspective. Commit thyself unto Yahweh. Let him deliver him. Let him rescue him, seeing he delighteth in him. As I began my investigation into this word and its meaning within the context of the verse, I quickly realized that this verse would make an excellent case study to show how important it is to understand Hebrew vocabulary, poetry, and philosophy when studying the Bible. Before we get into the meaning of the Hebrew word commit, we need to understand that this verse is written with a chiastic structure, a form of poetry common to biblical Hebrew, especially the book of Psalms. Here is how this verse can be written, showing the chiastic structure. If you will notice, 1a is paralleled with 2a, and 1b is parallel with 2b. Also notice that the words deliver and rescue are synonyms, which are words that have similar meanings. This is another common form of Hebrew poetry called parallelisms. This means that the words commit and delight are also synonyms. Now, of course, these two words are not synonyms in the English language, which means we need to find out what these words mean in the Hebrew language. The Hebrew word translated as commit is the Hebrew verb galal, which Strong's dictionary defines as to roll, literally or figuratively. And in the King James Version of the Bible, this word is translated as commit, remove, roll away, roll down, roll together, run down, seek occasion, trust, wallow. The Hebrew language is a concrete language, which means that words with a concrete meaning are used to express abstract ideas. So to really understand the concrete meaning of this word, let's look at some of the verses that use this word in a concrete way. Genesis 29 verse 3, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth. 2 Samuel 20 verse 12, and Amasa wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. Job 30 verse 14, in the desolation they rolled themselves upon me. So why did the translators translate this word meaning to roll as commit in Psalms 22 verse 8? Because roll over to Yahweh is not how we speak in English. So the translators translated this concrete word with an abstract one in order for the English reader to be more comfortable with the verse. Now, let's take a look at the word delight. This is the Hebrew verb chafetz, which Strong's defines as properly to incline to, by implication literally but rarely to bend, figuratively to be pleased with, desire. The King James translates this word as delight, please, desire, will, pleasure, favor, like, move, and would. All of these words are abstract, with the exception of move. So let's take a look at the verse where the word chafetz is translated as move. Job 40 verse 17, he moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. I have found the book of Job to be an ancient dictionary to the ancient Hebrew language. What I mean by this is that Hebrew words are often used in a figurative sense, with the exception of the book of Job, where most of the time the vocabulary is more frequently used in a concrete way and is very useful in uncovering the concrete meaning of a word. This word apparently means to wag, like a dog does with his tail when it is excited. And figuratively, this word means to be delightfully happy. Because this word is a synonym with galal, we can conclude that galal more literally means to roll over in excitement. Now that we understand the Hebrew words galal and chafetz, let's put the concrete meanings of these words into Psalm 22, verse 8. Roll thyself over to Yahweh. Let him deliver him. Let him rescue him, seeing he wags in him. By interpreting the Bible this way, we can better see into the mind, the culture, and the philosophy of the ancient Hebrew people. If this type of study is something you are interested in doing, let me recommend my course, How to Do a Hebrew Word Study Without Knowing Hebrew. A link is available below.